Welcome, beautiful people, to this broadcast of Spirituality One with One, where we aim to grow spiritually towards a more balanced experience. I am super excited you're here. I am your host, Ao Inti, and everything I share here is the truth as I currently know it. I encourage you to use your ability to discern this information and gather what is useful to you at this time. Now take a deep breath and enjoy. So I've been working quite hard these last couple of months, perhaps even years. And right now, I had not been posting or making new audios or episodes of this podcast because I was assimilating everything that was happening, which basically is the harvesting of all the work that has been going on. And this entire situation just made me ponder upon the subject of today's episode, which is nothing is ever gifted or handed to you. And I think that this is a very, very important program that we need to eliminate from our minds and replace with with a healthier one, and with one that empowers you more. Okay, because through life, I don't know in your experience, but in my experience, I remember being a kid and just seeing other kids who did something really well, and people making comments along the lines of, "Oh, he's so talented, he's gifted, he's always been like that." Basically, like he was lucky to have those skills, which made me unlucky because I didn't have X skills. And that is just a myth, because at this point I am operating under the belief, the sustained belief, and when I say sustained, it is sustained by my own experience and by what my common sense from intuition tells me, that we do not live once, right? That we keep on going, that this is merely just one existence. I also operate under the sustained belief that everything must be earned. So even when you see a person who is very gifted at a certain thing, you know that that person has been cultivating that skill through many lifetimes. And once you cultivate something and once you earn it, it will not be taken away. That's why the spiritual path and the focusing on maturing your soul and expanding your consciousness is one of the most productive things you can do during this lifetime, because you will take that progress with you when you leave. You will take your dharma of your good deeds, and you will also take your debts. You will not take the worldly things, you will not take the material things, but the imprint that you left, your legacy, that you will leave, and you will be able to reap those benefits. So realize that right now, whatever it is that you have or don't have but want to have, it's all a product of your own actions, that you will not be handed something ever by chance. You need to earn it, you need to deserve it. Okay, even like someone may go, oh, what about the gift of living? Even that was self-bestowed. When we were one with God, and when we were one complete consciousness, when we were in that state, we were just as much God as God or the universe is. And we bestowed upon us the right, and we had the capacity to do it, so we did it. And now we are experiencing separate points of consciousness that appear to be separate. So we were gifted that opportunity by ourselves. And now, because our perception is limited, and we basically get to play this game in which we have to start developing skills, expanding our consciousness. Might be very confused at times, but it's just a little game. But in a game, they're not gonna give you, you know, level 80 skills and ability to manage money, relationships, health, like play different sports, play different instruments, be well versed in arts, all of the different sciences. Like if you're still at level 5, right? Those skills will just not come, and there is no shortcut to it. Okay, so this message is the point of the message is to empower you. Okay, to stop believing that things are ever gonna be gifted. You must work for them, and it's a pleasure, it's an honor, and it's a privilege to be able to work towards what you want. I cannot think of a more fair system than this, and you should expect no more than what you deserve, and you should accept no less. And that's how the universe works, and it will always deliver in the amount that corresponds to you. And that may be in experiences, that may be in many different ways, where you might feel like, oh, this is a mistake. Why did this happen to me? Well, because it needed to happen. Okay, or you may be thinking, why hasn't this happened? Why hasn't this come yet? I've been working for so long for this. Perhaps it's not the time, or perhaps it's not that is the good thing for you. Okay, there's an even better thing that is gonna manifest soon, and that is where your actual efforts are going. Because that is one thing also, even though we have that lower self-perception, just to put a name on it, it's always driven by the higher self at a certain degree, and the higher self knows where it's wanting to go. So sometimes what we think we want is not what we end up getting, and that can be the biggest blessing ever, because we realize that we missed the mark to what we wanted, but then we ended up hitting something much bigger that was behind, that we couldn't even see because we were focused on the small thing that we wanted. And then after we hit the big one, we are like, wow, this is much better than what I imagined. This is way better than if I got what I wanted. So life is always happening for us and not to us. There are laws and there are systems that we gotta know in order to navigate well this ocean of energy. And I hope that this episode helped you understand this basic principle, so that you can live more harmoniously and fight less with life, and start understanding it, listening it. And that's it for today, guys. Okay, I want to tell you all about something new that I'm doing on Patreon. I'm starting a bi-monthly Circle of Word. Obviously it's going to be virtual, in which we gather and we speak about what the tribe is going through, what if someone has something to say or something to ask or a challenge or something. Basically, we in the Circle of Word, we cease to be one. We forget about our ego selves, and we become the circle. Okay, we become the tribe. So we pull together all of our resources to help the person who is needing help. And we're gonna be doing this on new moon and on full moon, so that's why it's bi-monthly. These are prime times for introspection, for ceremony, for making decisions, for collecting energy or renewing your energy. And in my practice, because I'm able to move outside of the conventional time structure, I move more by the cycles of the moon. Those 2 days are days that I usually take off anyway, and I do a Circle of Word with a fire and everything, physically, and I'm still gonna do that. But I'm also gonna take aside a time to meet with my digital tribe, and so I treat new moon and full moon as like Sundays, so to speak. So I encourage you to do the same, because energetically it's a time for rest and for introspection. So if you're interested in having bi-monthly calls with a tribe of people who are on a path to self-improvement, who are, some are entrepreneurs, some are healers, some are, we're all trying to do the same in our own way. Okay, so if you think that that might be valuable to you right now, some support, some family, some friends, some tribe, then head over to my Patreon page. I'm gonna leave a link below, and then also I'm gonna leave a link to my Instagram where you can follow more of my day-to-day content. I'm gonna leave a link to my Facebook where you can add me, and that's it, guys. Peace.